All right, from Liverpool to the other side of that massive defeat, United. What is the 7-0 loss, worst loss in the history of Manchester United? What does that say about the current club?
It tells me that the team under pressure aren't great. And I watched. I didn't see all of the game, but I watched. Actually, I saw most of the second half, and it told me that Bruno Fernandes isn't a leader of men. He's not a guy that you want in the trenches with you, because he basically quit. He was stomping around like a child who that couldn't get his way. Um, and they just stopped playing. And for me, that really is unforgivable. It was what, 1-0 at halftime, and it could have gone either way at that point. And then just to collapse the way they did. Yes, Liverpool played well, but they just they genuinely collapsed. And yeah, and that, to me, it just shows that it looks great while it's going their way. Everything's fantastic. And do they have the character? Do they have the character when under pressure? If Roy Keane had been their captain yesterday, he'd have got him. He'd have got him all going. He wouldn't have quit. Fernandes quit. He's not the guy you want leading your troops. So I think they might have to have a look at that.
Yeah, look, I think that I've had trouble buying into United. I mean, they have massive payroll, and then you finally got Ten Hag, who's a fantastic manager there, and it made sense to me that they were winning. But there was something that bothered me about the number of shots that they had given up. If you look at United, really just over the last month of the season, give up 19 shots to Leicester, 18 shots in the first leg to Barcelona, 15 shots to Newcastle, 16 to Leeds. I don't know that I saw this coming, but I did think at some point in time, gracious, they are just giving up so many shots. And how many times have you seen David De Gea bail them out in a situation where they easily could have lost a match? And so to see them get beat, I expected Liverpool to win that match. I really did, with the way that Liverpool was playing right now. Did I expect it to be 7-0? Did I expect it to be the worst defeat in the history of Manchester United? I did not. But there's something that you pointed out for months, Chris, about that United team. Still a little sketchy at the back end. And man, did it rear its head in that match. And you're right, they laid down. It was 1-0 right at the end of halftime. My dog goes nuts, and so I go take her for a walk. And I come back, and it's 6-0. And I'm like, what in the world has happened here? And then they add the 7th. I mean, it escalated so unbelievably quickly. And you're right, but we have talked about this about United as well. When it gets tough, when you watch a group of players that you've watched lay down before and quit, you can't help but think that there's going to be a time that they're going to quit again. If somebody has that in them, it's going to rear its head over and over again. And these United players, until you're right, maybe Bruno Fernandes isn't the guy. He needs to be a role guy as opposed to trying to be the leader of men. But that group of guys has quit on how many managers at this point? I don't think they've quit altogether on Ten Hag at this point, but they've quit on a lot of managers. And I think you're going to have to bring somebody in with some steel to maybe be the captain of that team during the offseason.
Yeah, it was like turning the clock back. What, 6 months, 8 months, wasn't it? They did. They looked so well. They were just so porous at the back. I mean, it was pathetic, quite honestly. And yeah, it just looked like, and they got away with it. The defense had been playing well. It looked like Shaw was back in form. Wan-Bissaka was looking good again. Martinez at the back looked like he didn't look as sort of fragile and vulnerable as he did when he first came. And then they just looked like they did 6 to 8 months ago. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they come out of that, whether they respond positively or whether this is the start of a decline, because it could go either way.
Hey, look, I can't help but wonder when I see a loss like this. It's the Timo Werner factor, right? You look at Timo Werner, he's back at Leipzig, not the same player at all, right? Like just when a guy's confidence gets shellacked like that, Dele Alli, I can't help but wonder how do you think there's going to be a carryover for Manchester United after that loss, or do you think they can bounce back because Ten Hag's that quality of a manager?
He's not. I don't think he's going to let them. Let's put it this way. If I was Ten Hag, I'll be dropping some players after that game. Now, if he does, and he should get a reaction when eventually they get back into the side. And that'll sort the sulkers out from the ones who really want to dig in and get back at it. But yeah, he should be pulling rank big time now, Ten Hag. He said he was angry after the game. He should be dropping at least 3 or 4 players after that performance. And then remains to be seen. The guys who come in, they've got to take the chance and make it competitive. Fernandes has had it easy. Since he came, and he's been fantastic. I remember when Fernandes joined Manchester United, and they turned with him arriving. the form. They were in terrible form, and he seemed to drag them out of a hole. Well, he needs to look at himself now and dig in again and correct his attitude. He gets hit in the chest and he's holding his face, and it's just no example to the rest of your team. That's not a leader. But yeah, they need to drop a few players, and they all need. Then we'll see. We'll see if they're up for the scrap or not.